What's up everyone, welcome to another video, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create another Afro House track. So in this video I'm going to use my new Chemistry producer bundle, which is my new go-to bundle when it comes to creating Afro House. So by the time you're watching this video it will be out already, so make sure to have a look. And there is also a free preview which you can download 100% royalty free, so just make sure to check it out. So right now let's get started building an amazing track. So for Afro House I would just recommend start off at 120 beats per minute, so you can do it right here. So at first we're going to start off by dragging in some samples. So right now the producer bundle is 95% finished, so it should look a little bit different when you, for example, download it. So at first we're going to start off with some samples, so some simple loops. I'm going to try to keep this beat as simple as possible for you as a beginner. So we're going to open up the Chemistry producer bundle, we're going to select samples and loops, and then we're going to select percussion loops. So right now I'm just going to drag in some random loops, so maybe this first one. So this is definitely an Amapiano inspired drum loop, so let's just drag it in. So we're going to use this as a texture in the background. Okay, also let's drag this one in. Okay, we're going to use this Afrobeat inspired drum loop. So just drag them in. We're going to link them to the mixer. So you select this one, select shift, select them. And then we're going to link those elements to the mixer. So select channel routing and then select the second one. And then all three are linked to the mixer. So now select song. I'm going to make sure they don't sound too loud. So something like this. So now we're going to drag in a kick. So open up the kick folder. So in this case, picking a kick with a lot of power. So for example, this one, I'm going to select the channel rack right here, and then just simply draw in 4 kicks like this, select pattern 1 right here, paste it into the arrangement. So let's have a listen right now. So it's already pre-leveled, so you don't have to mix that much. Okay, so that's it, very simple. For now it still needs some more percussion, so I'm gonna open up the percussions folder. I'm going to add a tom. I'm going to add maybe 2 or 3 toms. So for example, this one, this big tom. And maybe this one, 17. So I think this one, we have to shorten the sample because we're going to use it as a simple addition. So we're going to adjust it out like this. So we don't want the pitch bending tom sound at the end of the sample. So I'm going to add this rhythm right here. So let's zoom in a little bit. So this is the rhythm. Very simple, very common in those types of beats. So that's it. Leave it like this. And then we're going to add the big tom. And this one is going to be a little bit more complicated. So drag in those ones. So this will be the most common rhythm, this one. But in this case, for Afro House, we're going to switch it up. So we're going to move the third one 1/4 of a step to the left. We're going to add that one right here. As you can hear, it goes perfect together. And then we're going to add one right here. And we're going to reduce the velocity. Otherwise, it will be too much. For now, you want to make sure it sounds a little bit more humanic, so you press Option R, and then you simply randomize it to your preference. So in this case, I'm going to lower the velocity just a little bit, accept, and that's it. So right now we've added 3 drum layers. So right now you want to separate the layers in the arrangement. So open up the arrangement again. So we're going to move those ones a little bit down to make some room, and then we select pattern 1, and then we select split by channel right here. So you could remove those, select them all, and then drag them into the arrangement like this. Control C, Control B, copy them over. So this is the drum rhythm right now. So simple 4-bar rhythm. You could also switch it up. So for example, I think I'm gonna make some tweaks to the tom. So I've removed this one at the end right here, just to make it a little bit more interesting. So right now it sounds like this. to make it a little bit more interesting. So right now we kept it very simple and we're going to add the melody layer. So when you create an Afro House beat, in most of the cases it consists of a piano, which is very, very common. You add a simple bass line and then we add that percussive saw, tick, pluck layer. So I don't know exactly how to call it, but it's very common in those types of beats. So now I think I'm going to start off with a piano, and one of my favorite pianos, and it's also free, is Labs from Spitfire. So if you don't want to spend a lot of money on plugins or piano plugins, make sure to get this one. So this one looks like this. Then we select piano and keys. I still have to download a lot. So I think I'm going to pick this one, the Autograph Grand. I think this one sounds great. So that's it. And now we're going to draw in a simple chord progression. So first, let's rename this one. So right now, let's get started. So right now, I've selected pattern 4. I'm going to create this one in simple C minor. So if you don't know how to adjust the scale, select this one right here, the arrow, then select view, then select scale highlighting, and then select C in minor natural. And then just draw in a chord progression within the white highlighted notes. So I always tell this in my tutorials, it's the easiest way how to create a melody, especially if you're not that confident when it comes to music theory. So let's start off by drawing it in. So make sure to play around with the velocity so you can adjust the softness or the harshness of a piano sound. Maybe start off at C4. So first I'm just gonna draw in the root notes. Very simple. Pick G, those two near each other create that dark sound. And then pick the next one upwards. So that's it. So simply copy it over, or copy it, and then select, and then command up. And then let's adjust it again. For example, start off at G. Okay. This should be it. Sounds beautiful. So in this case, I don't recommend to play around with the strumizer or randomize it too much because still it's a house. So I would recommend you just leave it like this. So right now select pattern 4 and just drag it into the arrangement. So right now, let's have a listen. Okay, so that's it. So very, very simple. So right now we want to add some low frequencies, so a bass line. And for creating those beats, I recommend you just use Serum because that's just an amazing plugin. So I'm going to open it up right now. And within the Keinemusik producer bundle, I've added a lot of Serum presets. So not all of them are finished yet, so by the time it's out, it should look more cleaned up. But right now, I'm just going to use one of those presets. So select bass and me. So select send to channel focus plugin. So as you can see right now, it's opened up right here. Just a simple bass. Sounds very, very good. Maybe let's adjust the cutter filter. So right now it's just time to copy the root note. So we start off at C. So if you're creating a beat in C minor, most of the cases, just copy over those notes. So Control C, Control V. As you can hear, that's it. And a simple mixing trick. So we're gonna link those two elements to the mixer right now. So insert 15, channel routing. Second one, we're gonna add some sidechaining. So this is basically a must-have plugin. You sidechain the low frequencies from the bass to the kick. So I'm using Kickstarter 2, and then you could simply select sync, select band. So we don't want to sidechain all of the frequencies from the bass. So I think around 200 Hz should be fine. Then I'm selecting the slope right here. Here sounds so much better, very, very groovy. And if you want to adjust it to the waveform of the kick, so now it's gonna get a little bit more complicated. You could also select the kick in the mixer right here, and then then select right mouse button on this arrow, and then select sidechain to this track. Then open up Kickstarter 2 again, then open up options, processing, and then sidechain LR. You select the right mouse button, and then kick 5 should pop up right here. So now you select audio, final step, and right now the audio is routed through this plugin. So right now adjust the slope again. As you can see, I've already adjusted it the correct way. Okay, so that's it, and this will make it sound so much better. Very simple mixing trick, basically an essential mixing trick. So now maybe you want to add another top layer for the piano to make it a little bit more interesting. So right now I'm going to draw that in. Okay, so that's it, very simple. Control C, Control B. Okay, that sounds amazing, and we could definitely use a simple layer like this when it comes to arranging this track. So now let's move on. I'm going to add the main part for this beat. So I'm going to open up Serum, and I'm going to add a plug. So for example, this typical Keinemusik plug. Send to selected channel. Okay, that's it. So I'm going to add it at the root note, so which is C. One octave up. So I think it's this one, C6. Okay, that's it. So that's exactly what I'm looking for. I definitely need to add some more reverb, to add some more ambience and make it sound more full. So you could basically do this within the plugin. So just a reverb. You could also automate this one. Okay, so that's it. Very simple. So now you maybe want to add some more mid frequencies. So we're going to add a pad layer. Or now simply select pad, again this one, perfect layer, and we're simply going to copy the chords and paste it right here, and let's pitch it at 1 octave because we don't want to add too much low frequencies when adding a pad. Okay, so right now we need to adjust the volume, push to the background. So that's it. So right now we've added all the main layers. So maybe right now it's time to add some simple effects. So some downlifters and uplifters. So in this case we add this one, which is one of my go-to effects. Okay, so that's it. Right now we just want to add some noise. So this simple downlifter, and as you can see, all the samples already stretched to the tempo of the project. Don't matter which DAW you're using. I've included the BPM information for all of these samples. So now also let's adjust the volume. We could simply do this right here in the sampler. Make sure they're not too loud. Then we could add a simple roll. So I've added some rolls. They're not that common, but I just like to use those ones. So I think I'm going to use this one. Okay, so that's it. Already sounds so good. So we could already start arranging this one. So I'm going to make sure it starts at 5 right here. I'm gonna move those ones over. Right now I'm also gonna split by channel pattern 4, split by channel right here. So now it's basically just arranging the beat. So we add in the 4 new layers, and then we want to remove the top layer on the piano. So Control X, I'm gonna create a new pattern, and let's name this one or rename this one piano. So let's say it comes in right here. So we don't want the same layers to play over and over again at the same time. So it should be something like this. So for example, right now we start with a simple drums. Then we add a pad. and the plug is coming in, and we're definitely going to automate it. Maybe the main toms have to come in at the drop or main part of the track. So for example, if you want to automate the plug, so you select insert one right here, then you open up Serum again, and then you, for example, select the cutoff filter. So basically just select it, then select tools, then select the last tweaked, and then select create automation clip. Okay, so you've created the automation clip. Now you could simply play around with the cutoff filter. So very easy. And you basically have to apply this to all of your tracks to make it sound more organic and dynamic. So very important. Otherwise, everything sounds just way too flat. So you want to make sure you add a very creative automation for the cutoff filter and, for example, also the reverb. So for example, before all the drums are coming in, you want to make sure it fades out a little bit. A little bit like this. Okay, so that's it. So I think I've built the main foundation for this beat. So now I'm going to finish it, organize the project again, rename some of the elements, and show you the final result in a second. So guys, I've just finished this project, added some more automations, random colored some of the elements, created a very interesting mixing chain, which you definitely want to check out, because this project will be included in the Keinemusik producer bundle, but you can also download the FLP, so without the samples, for free. So the link will also be in the description. So no more talking, so let's listen to the final result. Added some side chaining to the chords, to the piano chords. So it's just a beginner project, very simple, but it shows the essential elements. You can hear the plug coming in. Pad coming in, so I've also automated the filter for the pad. Right here, reuse the same loop. Piano coming in, also with some side chaining. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to let me know in the comments what you want to see in the next video. So for example, which Afro House track or inspired track, so I can create something very similar. Or maybe you just want to know how to create certain drum patterns or drums or melody. So make sure to let me know in the comments or send me a DM. So I hope you have an amazing day, create some awesome Afro House tracks, and see you in the next video.